Hello and welcome back to the channel, here for yet another league race, this time in the CSGB F2 division at Belgium. If you don't know how this league works, it is set over 2 days or 3 days overall for the whole league. For myself it's just for 2 days. First day is the qualifying and a feature race, which is 50%. And then after that we have the sprint race on the second day, which is 25%, and the full grid gets reversed.
When you're ready,
so if you win in the feature race, you start at the back of the sprint race, but unless you don't attend the first race, which in case you start right at the back. But anyway, coming up now to finish my first lap of the session.
You've just put in the fastest lap.
Go pole for now at least. One of the first cars to set up. I think I'm the second car to set a lap time. So only really one car to beat at the time. You can see now we have dropped down to second, as I believe Jaegermau went faster in the McLaren. If you remember back to 3 weeks ago now, at Canada, had quite an interesting battle with him in the wet. I wouldn't blame you if you haven't seen that, because I am trying to up video quality every week as best as I can. You might have heard their little warning from Jeff, rain is coming, which scared me into doing a second flying lap rather quickly. I normally wait until 5 minutes, 4 and 6 minutes left to go out for my second run, but after hearing that I was like, okay, I'm going to go out now then. So I'm coming to the bus stop, a little bit of grass on the entry, this is to start my lap. See, compromise line, try and get a better run. I don't think it helps too much because I don't get on the power well enough. Across the line you can see we are finding a little bit of time, then onto brakes into La Source, lock up, run deep, whilst we're still struggling a bit with the brake pedal I have to use now, which is the clutch. With the clutch pedal at least anyway, running down to a Rouge. Could use a bit more curb but there. I actually missed the apex first time on the way up the hill over Radion, so that lap found a bit more time, just slightly tighter line, carrying more speed over the hill. Up to Le Com then, using the little bit of the curb on the entry. All of the apex, but missing the apex in the second part and the third part. Running wide then to use the exit into Understeer Central, which is my name for this corner. Actually kept it rather neat this time. A little bit surprising. So we flick the car down for a no-name again, a little bit sort of off the apex there, a little bit wide, down into Pouon or Double Rouge, Double Gauche, something like that. Double left in Belgian. I'm not too sure what the Belgian word for it is, but I know the translation. You can see a little lock up there into Pifbath or Fania, another corner that has been renamed recently. And then we finally hook it up there through, I think, Stavelo and Paul Frere, those two right-handers. I don't know which way around they are, I think I got that right. Then I run down towards the final couple of corners. You can see grey skies, it's getting darker every couple of minutes. See then this Haas, Abzi in the Haas getting out of the way nicely. Nice and tidy there through the bus stop, possibly a little bit too much curb on the first one. We do open the DRS, run up to the line and go provisionally on pole. And as you will find out very briefly, that is just about enough. You can see I look over to James Dovey now in the Williams. He is second in the championship. I am of course leading this one by, I think it was 54 points coming into this race. No, after this race it extended to 54. I think it was 28 at this point. You can see I'm ahead of Jaegermau by 4 thousandths of a second. The rain is falling, and you may have also, if you eagle-eyed viewers of you, may have seen that James Dovey was down at the end of the second sector. You can see I don't think he's backed off at this point. As he comes through the bus stop, he pulls into the pit lane. And at this point, I think this is when I knew I was on pole. So Tomasz, another quick driver, has invalidated. So that was it on pole by 4 thousandths. Possibly the scruffiest pole lap you're ever going to watch in any league or real life competition in terms of real cars, not these virtual ones. 2 cars not setting a time in the end. Pro Mayhem as well, Jake, good friend of mine, setting a time on mediums, probably caught out by the rain. Do now flick over to start the race at least onto the strategy page. See soft medium, I'm quite content with that. Lowering the fuel as well. So we go now out onto the road and see my teammate Anton directly behind me. So let's go out. I feel like this is the best start I've ever gotten. Possibly the short run to La Source helped me out a lot. Lock up into the first corner, you can see Jägermau and Anton try to switch back on me. I have got a feeling the positioning of my teammate may have stopped with the McLaren getting past there. Head up the hill for the first time. Obviously at this point you never know if you're going to come out on top. Once you get to La Combe, I think I used a lot of the battery, as you can see, using the fuel as well. Just trying to keep the gap. Anton having a little look as well, just popping out. But our top 3 have pulled away from the rest of the pack. You can see 1.7 seconds between Zam and Anton. At this point I knew I'd survived, at least lap 1. But as you will see later on in the race, actually don't... Yeah, I might have cut it out. Jägermau was a lot faster in the straights than I was. I run a lot more downforce than probably anyone. Replay of the start then from the sort of trackside cameras. You can see wheel spin for everyone apart from myself. I may have bogged down a little bit though. Through the first corner nice and cleanly. I think everyone got through cleanly, to be honest. So no real harm done there. But hopping up now to the end of the first lap. You can see I have a little bit of a gap over Jägermau, but he is pulling it back ever so slightly due to the lack of downforce. He runs less downforce than I do. By the look of things. VSC out. This, I don't actually know what this was for. No one's retired. I'm not sure the reason for this virtual safety car. Weaving a little bit, try and keep some heat into the tyres. As always, my goal at the start of a race, try and stay with whoever's in front of me and try and gap the 1 second mark to anyone behind. As you can see, no one in front. And then just trying to get that gap over 1 second, which I did do through the middle sector every lap. I broke the 1 second mark for Jägermau, however, on the straight sectors 3 and sector 1, he just pulled it all back. Up onto lap 5 now, James Dovey loses the car at Radion. Which is, to be honest, a little disappointing. Obviously him DNFing this one, myself currently in the lead of the race. For the championship, for him it's looking very bad now. You can see Jägermau just behind me, it's not too much. He kind of kept the gap to where it was, as I said, sectors 3 and 1. He pretty much closed off any gap I opened up in the middle sector. But you would have seen there, boxing this lap, coming into the pits 2 laps earlier than scheduled. I thought I'd use the virtual safety car to get a free pit stop here. See, we gain a little bit of time. As did we get to our pit box? Not quite. Just before we turn and then before the virtual safety car ends. 2.6 second stop as always in this game. Very rare to get anything less than initial held, or you get an absolute blinder at the stop. Out of the pit lane then you can see Jake just about ahead of me on the exit, a little bit annoying. But I seem to be quicker now, jumping up to the top of the hill later on that lap. So you've caught back up the gap, also gap 2 seconds to Jägermau behind, which is very important for my race personally. Coming down the hill then towards Huon. See, he's a little bit understeery. I don't know if he had damage or not, but he goes defensive into piff back, which annoyed me because I wanted to make the move. Trying around the outside, he just squeezes me out a little bit. Nice hard racing there. Was a little bit annoyed at the time, I believe, but that's just how you are. You know, if you're ahead, you push the limits of defence. If you're behind, you just try and force a gap. I forced the gap, but then he was very hard and defensive. Wouldn't be the last time we'd go for a little battle here in Spa. I could get my words out. It would help massively. So either had to hit the brake middle of the bus stop just because I didn't expect him to be a little bit slow there. You can see the 2-second gap we had to Jägermau, we're now under a second.
By 7.2 seconds.
Lost out massively there due to a little bit of a battle. We're now exiting La Source for that one run. I kind of thought to myself I had to do it this lap, but you can see going over the top of the hill there is a Renault off to the side, that is Liam.
Okay, the safety car is out. The safety car is
And
out.
safety car
We need to
comes out.
form up at a reduced pace. Keep a close
I
eye on
think
that delta
possibly
time.
for a good
Make
win,
sure to keep it positive.
because I wasn't getting past Jake this time up the straight. There's a little replay there, you can just see how close we got through the first part of the corner. And I was a little bit wide of the next one. Then the end of that first safety car lap, he comes into the pit lane for a scheduled stop. I had to resume the lead. And then on lap 9 we get ready to go racing again. You can see tyres absolutely stone cold. Or at least the insides, I believe the outer line is green. I did know the words for those parts of the tyres. One's the carcass. One's surface temperature was good, the other one not as good. I'm just getting ready to go and we decide to bolt now. Felt like we got a slightly gap to him, but then didn't have the cleanest bus stop. And then just about got out of there. Okay, he lost the back end a little bit. By the looks of things,
Green flag.
one of the perks when you watch it back, you can see, you can pay attention to different stuff you missed whilst actually racing. You can see gaps to other cars you might not have seen before. But I believe we do survive this run up the hill. It's a little bit wide at the apex, not quite willing to commit to turning fully. Tyres are a little bit cold and I don't trust them. All the way up to the top of the hill. And we survive lap 10. Almost led every lap at this point. I think it was just lap 6 we didn't, or lap 5. Jumping now onto lap 12, you can see Purple Sector 2 pushing really hard just to try and break the DRS. Couldn't quite manage, and then I believe, yes, there we go, hit by another safety car just as we go past the pit entry, which was really annoying. And then we also just about overtake the safety car. He's literally on the inside of the corner. I know at that point Jake did not pit for fresh soft tyres, which I would have done given the opportunity. I do also believe coming around to the pit lane for the next lap, so on lap 13, I was considering the entire lap whether or not to come into the pits and put on the soft. I opted not to in the end. Luckily Jägermau followed, or he could have really attacked me at the end of the race. Getting ready to go once again. Didn't keep track of tyre temps this time, which as you will see was a pretty big mistake. You see the gap, pretty much the same sort of jump into the bus stop, then horrible lock up. Luckily he can't overtake until the line, but he tried to set it up there. He took a compromised line as you would in qualifying to get a better run here. Tyres absolutely stone cold, just trying to get some form of temperature into them. Locking up then again into La Source. Very difficult, like really difficult on these tyres to try and warm them up. Feel sorry for Ospo there, or Uspo. In the Alpha Tauri, hitting onto hard tyres, or at least he was on them before. I don't know how he got any temperature into those. This is the first time Jägermau properly attacked me, coming all the way up the Camel Straight. I of course go defensive. He tries around the outside, couldn't quite hold the speed, so I just about hold it up. As you see there, one of the Mercedes are out. I believe that was Adam. So you see a replay of that now coming up the straight. You can see Tomasz behind, just trying to get involved, but can't quite get the speed. Jägermau tries it around the outside of me. Just about hold on that time around the outside of the second part of Le Con. Then we jump onto lap 18. Fastest lap for both myself and then Jägermau. Now we come out of La Source once again, down the hill again, just trying to break that 1 second mark, which he just about sneaks under. You can see I think it was like 0.98 seconds. I was across the detection line just before Air Rouge for running up the hill, and now he was so far back here, I have no idea how he caught me. But he somehow found the speed. He goes from further back and somehow gets further ahead of me. very late on the brakes and did a little bit of contact as well. Just before the left-hander, but I just got a hold on there coming into the understeer central corner. Massive lock up as well. Luckily he thinks better of just sticking his nose in there, because otherwise that would have been one of us spinning. But we just about survived that attack. You'll see a replay here. We have gapped the rest of the field. At this point I think we were both setting fastest laps every lap of the race. He gets so close to getting past me then. If he was, I think, any closer when I was at the apex of the corner, he would have taken the position. But then by the looks of things, as I thought at the time, he just gave me the last lap to enjoy the victory, as he did have a penalty as well. I believe he had 6 seconds, which I knew the whole time, but I wanted to win on track. He of course took that away from me in Canada. So I wasn't too happy about that, but obviously this time, taking the win on track, it feels a lot better. But a win is a win, I'll take whatever I can get. Obviously at this point, championship up to 54 points, as I believe I mentioned earlier on. See the results there. I won my first fastest lap as in league racing as well, I think on my 56th attempt. Finally get a fastest lap. You see he's scrolling all the way down to the bottom. James W there, 18th. He was, in fact, he will be starting on pole for the sprint race, which I didn't record. So we only have these highlights to go off of, but I'll try my best to run you through what happened. You see the McLaren there, that was actually an AI that jumped the start. He actually hit me before the lights, and then my car moved forward and I hit the Mercedes of Tomasz. You see there Jake loses a bit of his front wing, who did actually finish 4th yesterday. It's a very good drive from the back of the grid. But running down the hill, I actually forgot a setup for this race as well, so 2 very big mistakes altogether. No setup, and then forgot to stop the recording so it didn't save. This was lap 2 of the race, went around the outside of Jacob Pouon. The camera angle there really not helping at all. As it cuts back, you can see I did get that position, and then he goes up the inside into the bus stop. But doesn't quite get the position, and now rain was starting to fall if I hadn't already. In the 25% race, it is very rare to have changeable conditions. You can see a couple of cars into the pits there. But now we're on to, I think this is after a safety car, if I remember correctly. So this is lap 5 or lap 6. I believe I'm sitting in P7 behind Abzi, I believe it was, in the Haas. James absolutely dominated this race, so fair play to him. Didn't put a foot wrong, and these conditions got very difficult towards the end of the race. So just trying my best to stick as close as I can. Definitely the weather helped me out massively, considering I didn't have a setup on the car. Now running up the Kemmel straight, move to the inside of my opponent, up the inside, brake later, right up over the curb. I think he backed out of it. One of the good things is a lot of drivers are confident as they've known when they're beaten, so they don't try a risky or stupid dive bomb. So now going around the outside of Adam into the chicane. I believe there's a little bit of contact just before the braking zone, but we both got away with it. I think he might not have realised I was there. That was actually it for this race. I caught up to Jagermalt. I did pick up a penalty. In fact, this replay does not show how difficult the conditions were. But that will be it for this video, I do believe. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, I'm trying hard every time to improve the video quality, but do leave a like.